Many people sick, many people deaf. They need Jesus, our Lord. Deaf people aren't sick, right? Deaf is disability, right? Well, two of our readings had discussed, had mentioned a sickness called leprosy. You know what that is? Yeah, the skin, the blood does not flow. Does not flow. The blood gets stuck. The sickness of leprosy, a person's skin becomes white and dead. We sometimes call ourselves white, but did you notice that?
Yeah, you're more baby.
It's not the same color. I mean, kind of tan or peach color. It's not white. Not white. The color of our skin becomes white when there is no blood there. The man in the Old Testament lesson was a general in the army. He became very famous for conquering many of the other nations' armies. The nations of the other soldiers could not conquer the general named Naaman. Naaman went to Israel to fight sometimes. The war, not really. A battle, a few. He went to the village and he captured a young girl, a slave for his wife. The young girl is happy. The young girl is excited to become a slave? No, I don't think so. The young girl, maybe she saw the soldiers kill her father and mother. Maybe she saw the soldiers come and burn all of the houses in her hometown. The young girl, I would think that girl would not be happy with the general of soldiers. Not happy to serve his wife. The young girl had a good attitude. Yes, she was happy. She liked to serve. She served well. And when her boss woman was talking with her, she said, "I wish your husband would go to Israel, to that country named Samaria. In the city of Samaria, they have a prophet. The prophet, that is the man of God. That man of God, he could heal your husband." The captain of the soldiers, you think he had a good doctor? Yeah, I think that the man had gone to appointments with the best doctors in all of the country of Syria. The best doctors in all of Aram had tried to clean his skin disease. But the young girl said, "Go to the prophet, that man of God. That man can clean your sick body." The general went to the king of Aram. The king, I'm sure, inside, maybe outside, the king was laughing. He knew that already the general had gone to the best doctors. Already knew that that sickness in Israel, that kind of sickness, do you remember, what did they do with leprosy in Israel? Did they make you a general?
Throw them out,
No,
throw 'em out of the village.
They were thrown out of the villages. They were not permitted in any town, not even a small town. They had to stay outside of town, and they had to shout if they saw someone coming. They had to shout, "Unclean, unclean." If the person came nearer, they would die. The person would report to the priests, and the priest would say the person with skin disease had to die because they did not shout loud enough. They were not permitted. The skin disease was frightening to the many people in Israel. This week, what happens? My sister-in-law, young lady, not as old as my wife and myself, young lady, my sister-in-law, has a skin disease, but worse than her skin disease, the young woman had breast cancer of the breast. And this week, she had the surgery to cut it off. Cancer scare us? No, breast. Yeah. Yeah. Her husband teaches at Burke High School. Her husband is the brother of my wife and teaches at Burke High School. Break time.
No, they had to get some of the potatoes ready. So.
So we'll take a break. My sister-in-law's cancer is the worst and scariest disease of our nation.
No.
Sin.
Cancer?
AIDS.
You are more afraid of getting cancer than any other disease?
AIDS.
AIDS bad.
Are you going to get AIDS?
Thank God, no. I better not.
She said AIDS. I'm a little bit worried. My wife said that the worst disease is AIDS.
There's no cure.
Are you worried about getting AIDS?
No, but
Are you worried about getting breast cancer?
no, not really.
Not really.
Should be. Not. I don't worry.
Should be worried about the cancer. Your mother and your other people had breast cancer. Cancer, right? But I'm not afraid of getting AIDS. I will never get AIDS. My life does not permit me to get AIDS.
It'll bite you.
If a person has AIDS, they have to yell, unclean, unclean, right?
No.
No. No. But I can't never get AIDS because I have sex with only one person in my life. And that person only has sex with me. So I will never worry about getting AIDS. Never. Yeah. Well,
Blood transfusion.
no. I don't take drugs that are heroin. I don't take, yeah. No. Today, there is 0.00001% chance of me getting the blood. Yeah. Much better now. They are very, very, very careful about that.
Yeah.
But cancer, I could get sick with cancer. You know that I sometimes will smoke a cigarette. Sometimes. I sometimes will smoke a pipe, right?
I used to do that. I quit that.
Sometimes. Not very often. Not every day. Not very often. But sometimes. Sometimes. My son is worried because I will mooch cigarettes from him. He'll go outside and I'll run outside. I'll say, give me a cigarette. I'll say, I don't owe you a cigarette. And I will say, I'm mooching. Not very often, but sometimes. So I can get cancer. The president of our district in Iowa, the district president, had stopped smoking cigarettes for almost 35 years. He had smoked when he was young and then gave up the habit when he became a pastor, had not smoked cigarettes for a long time. And he got cancer. He got cancer of his lungs. And he said, which cigarette gave me cancer in my lungs? Which one? Which one that I had smoked? Which day did that happen? The sickness. Before he died, he mooched cigarettes from my boss in the district. My boss regularly smoked, and the president of the district mooched cigarettes because he knew that I had mooched cigarettes from him. But he was sick with cancer. He knew he would die. Naaman was sick with the worst disease of his time. He knew that he would die. Could not heal himself. The doctors in that country could not heal him. The young gal said, go to Israel. Go, and the prophet in the city of Samaria, that prophet can heal you. and he went to Samaria. First he stopped to visit the king. He showed him the letter, and it said, "King, I, the king of Aram, send you my general, the general that could destroy your country. I, the king, am sending my general, Naaman, so that you will heal him." And the king cried, yeah. Tore his robes, yeah. And said, "I'm not God. I cannot kill a person and make him alive again. I can't. Why do you come to me? Picking on me? You want to make war against us?" But further north, Elisha heard that the king was carrying butter. Had heard that the king had torn his robes. He had good hearing. He could hear that the king in Jerusalem had torn his robes. And he said to the king, "Send that general to me. That general will know there is a God in Israel." The king himself know that there is God in Israel? He didn't believe it. The king did not believe it. But the general went north to the city where Elisha, he was driving his horses and chariots, so fancy. And he stopped in front of a house, small house. A widow lived in that house. Small house. Stopped his horses, knocked on the door. Elisha did not answer. Elisha did not stand up and go. Elisha sent a servant to tell the general, "Go and wash in the river named Jordan. Wash 7 times. Then your skin will be like newborn baby skin. Will be beautiful and perfect." I was telling my 5th grade class the story, and I said, "Look." And they said, "The hands are old." I said, "Yeah. Now, 5th grader, show me your hands." Compare the two. Oh, my hands look old. Scars, wrinkles, all. Ugh. But the young boy's hands look perfect. Naaman was angry because he said, "Go and wash 7 times. He was angry and left. He was going to go home, and I know that he would come back and war against Israel and kill all of God's people. He had that kind of authority. But while he was riding in his chariot, the servants who ran beside said, "Stop. If the prophet had asked you to do some harm, some big thing, you would do it, right?" You say, "Yeah. If I have to climb to the top of the mountain, if I have to swim the deepest of the seas, I would do that.
Oh, yeah.
The servant said, he asked you to do some simple thing. The simple washing 7 times, that's easy. And the general, and they said, please do that. Try it. For us, try. And he went down. Yeah. Try to tell your friends about Jesus. A simple thing,